Okay, good morning class. Welcome to our week 4, second quarter in mathematics. Okay, before we start, we're going to pray. Okay, let's put our presence to the Lord. Father God, come be with us today. Fill our hearts with joy. Fill our minds with learning. Fill our classrooms with peace. Fill our lessons with fun. Fill our friendships with kindness. Fill our study with love and compassion. Amen. Okay, so last week we studied about how to add or subtract fractions or decimal numbers rather. So how do we add or subtract decimal numbers? Okay, in adding or subtracting decimal numbers, first of all, you are going to align the decimal points. Then add according to its place value and also subtract according to its place value. Again, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write the number in column form, align the decimal points. That is how to add or subtract the decimal numbers. Now, let's have this practice. We are going to find the product. So let's have number 1. 1/10 times 1/10 equals 100. Observe the product. Okay, number 2. 1/10 times 200 equals 2000. Okay, number 3. 2 times 100 equals 200. The number 4. 500 times 3 equals 1500. Then last number, number 5, 2000 times 6 equals 12,000. Now, how did we get that answer? So in multiplying decimal number by another decimal, we are going to count the number of decimal places. Let's say number 1. So we have 1/10, we have 1 decimal place. Then times 1/10, another 1 decimal place. So 1 decimal place plus 1 decimal place equals 2 decimal places in your product. So that is why we have 100s. Yan. So 1 times 1 equals 1. Then count the number of decimal places. So 1 decimal place plus another 1 decimal place equals 2 decimal places. That is why 100s is the answer. For number 2, we have 1/10. We have 1 decimal place. Then times 200s. 200s has 2 decimal places. Pag sinabi natin decimal places, yung pagkatapos ng decimal points, you have to count the numbers. Kung ilang number yan, yun po ang tinatawag nating decimal places. So in our number 2, we have 3 decimal places. That is why your answer must have also 3 decimal places. So 2 times 1 equals 2. Then we have 3 decimal places. That is why the answer is 2000s. Then number 3, we have multiplying whole number by a decimal. So our decimal has 2 decimal places. So that is why 2 times 1 equals 2. Then the number of decimal places is only 2. That is why 200s is the answer. For number 4, we are multiplying hundreds by a whole number. So 500s, that is 2 decimal places. Sa 3, that is whole number. So wala tayong decimal place. That is why 2 decimal places only in your answer. So that is why 3 times 5 equals 15. And that is 1500. So we have only 2 decimal places. Then for the number 5, we have 3 decimal places because of 2000s. So 2000s, 0 point, then 002, that is 3 decimal places. So times 6. So 6 has no decimal place because it is a whole number. So since we have 3 decimal places, your answer must be also have a 3 decimal places. So that is why 2 times 6 equals 12. Then to complete the decimal places, you have to annex or add 0. So that is why 12 thousands. So that is how to multiply decimals by another decimals or decimals by a whole number. So this morning, we are going to study about multiplying decimals up to 2 decimal places by 1 to 2 digit whole numbers. Then the second one, we are going to estimating of the product of decimal numbers with reasonable results. So we are going to multiply and we are also estimate the product with reasonable results. So at the end of the lesson, you are expected to 1. Multiply decimal numbers up to 2 decimal places by 1 to 2 digits whole number. Then second, you can estimate the product of decimal numbers with reasonable results. So let's have this a problem. Justin saves 9 peso and 50 centavos every day from his daily allowance. How much will he save in 10 days, in 30 days, in 200 days? Now, we are going to answer the following questions. What can you say about Justin? So, Justin is a thrifty boy. Okay, because he saved his allowance. So, being a thrifty, it is not a bad attitude. That is a good attitude. That is to prepare your future para may kukunin ka balang araw. Kasi mayroon tayong kasabihan na kapag may isinuksok, may madudukot. So that is how important of savings. Now, how much did he save daily? Magkano ba ang sinisave ni Justin araw-araw? So, ang sinisave ni Justin is 9 pesos and 50 centavos. Then, what is asked in the problem? So, the problem asks the amount he saved for 10 days, in 30 days, and 200 days. So, aalamin natin kung magkano ang kanyang na-save pagdating ng 10 days, pagdating ng 30 days, at pagdating ng 200 days. What operation you will use to solve the problem? So, anong operation ang gagamitin natin? So, because of the word daily allowance, every day, so you are going to multiply. So, the operation that we are going to do is, that we are going to use is multiplication. So, we are going to multiply for 10 days, for 30 days, and 200 days. Ano yun ang ating i-multiply sa 10 days, 30 days, and 200 days? Ang sinisave ni Justin every day. Magkano nga ulit? Ang sinisave ni Justin every day is 9 peso and 50 centavos. Now, we are going to solve. Okay, so let us find out now how much Justin saved for 10 days, for 30 days, and 200 days. So again, Justin saves 9 peso and 50 centavos daily. So we have 9 pesos and 50 centavos. So we are going to find out how much did he save for 10 days, for 30 days, and then for 200 days. Okay. So again, the operation that we are going to use is multiplication. So we are going to look at carefully how do we multiply decimal number and a whole number. So in multiplying a whole number and a decimal number, it is just like multiplying a whole number. Only the difference is you are going to count the number of decimal places in the factor is the same also as in the product. Kung ilan yung nasa factors, ganun din ang nasa product. Okay. Since we have 0 here, so we are going to apply the rule of multiplying 0. So we're going to bring down 0. So ilabas na lang natin to si 0. So we have 1 or that is 10. So bring down 0. Then 1 times 0 equals 0. 1 times 5 equals 5. 1 times 9 equals 9. Okay, look at this. Our product is not 9,500. Why? Because we are going to count the number of decimal places. Our number of decimal places here is 1, 2. Ito yung ating decimal points. So after the decimal points, you are going to count the number of digits. Kung ilang digits number ang nasa right ni decimal point. So ang number niya is 1, 2. That is why 2 decimal places. So we are going to count 1, 2. So nandito yung ating decimal points. So in 10 days, ang masisave ni Justin is 95 pesos. So look at this. So for 10 days only. Now we are going to find out for 30 days. So i-move natin ulit. 3 here. Then 0. So again, we are going to bring down 0. Then 3 times 0 equals 0. 3 times 5 equals 15. Bring down 5, carry up 1. Then 3 times 9 equals 27 plus 1, 28. Now, it is not already done. We're going to count the number of decimal places. So the number of decimal places again, everybody count? 1, 2. Dahil ito yung decimal points natin. Ha? 1, 2. So dalawang decimal places. So we're going to have 1, 2. So for 30 days, ang masisave ni Justin is 285 pesos. Ayan. So 285 pesos. Now, let us find out kung magkano na ang kanyang masisave sa 200 days. So, we are going to, again, ilabas lang natin ang dalawang 0. Yan. Then, we have 2. So, 200. So, bring down 2 zeros. Yun po ang pinakamagbilis na mag-multiply ng 0. Then, 2 times 0 equals 0. 2 times 5 equals 10. So, bring down 0, carry up 1. Then, 2 times 9 equals 18, plus 1 equals 19. Again, we have 2 decimal places. 1, 2. So, we have 1, 2. Nandito yung decimal point. So, that is why the answer is 1,900 pesos. So, for 200 days, Justin can save 1,900 pesos. Again, how much will Justin save for 10 days? Okay, Justin saves for 10 days is 95 pesos. How about in 30 days? Okay, in 30 days, Justin saves 285 pesos. How about 200 days? For 200 days, Justin saves 1,900. That is how to multiply decimal numbers by a whole numbers. Let's have this another example. Hindi. Mamaya pa. Supposing we're going to multiply decimal number by another decimal number. So let's have this. 4 and 26 hundredths. Everybody agreed? 4 and 26 hundredths times 1 and 2 tenths. 1 and 2 tenths. Now, this is multiplying mixed number by another mixed number, or mixed decimal by another mixed decimal. So, to multiply like this number, you are going to multiply like a whole number. Parang whole number lamang siya. Okay, so first we are going to multiply first 2. 2 times 6 equals 12. So we are going to bring down 2, carry up 1. Then 2 times 2 equals 4. Plus 1 equals 5. Then 2 times 4 equals 8. Do we need to put a decimal point? No. This is an initial product. So wala muna tayong ilalagay na decimal points. Now, let's proceed to 1. Si 1 naman ang ating i-multiply kay 6, kay 2, at kay 4. So 1 times 6 equals 6. So you're going to write your 6 here at the tens. Sa tens natin ilalagay kasi nasa tens yan. Then 1 times 2 equals 2. Then 1 times 4 equals 4. Then get the sum. Pag-add natin. So bring down 2. 5 plus 6 equals 11. Carry up 1. Then 1 plus 8 equals 9 plus 2 equals 11. Carry up 1. So 1 plus 4 equals 5. Now, we are going to count the number of decimal places in our factors. We call this factors, our multiplier, and a multiplicand, and the multiplier. So we are going to count the number of decimal places. Here in our multiplicand, we have 2 decimal places. Ito yung decimal points natin. So after the decimal points, dalawa ang number. Kaya ang tawag doon ay 2 decimal places. Yan, 2 decimal places. Sa ating namang multiplier, we have decimal points. Then we have one number, 2. So 1 decimal place plus 1 decimal place equals 3 decimal places. So that is why, in our product here, kailangan 3 decimal places. So, 3. Ulit, 1, 2, 3. So, we're going to count. 1, 2, 3. Ulit, pag nag-count from the right, going to the left. So, 1, 2, 3. That, in other words, 4 and 26 hundredths times 1 and 2 tenths is 5 and 112 thousandths. So, this is now our final answer. Again, this is how to multiply a mixed decimal by another mixed decimal. Okay, another last example. So let's have this 124 and 5 tenths times 90. Okay. So our whole number, then this is mixed decimal. So bring down na lang natin si 0. Bring down 0. Then 9 times 5 equals 45. Bring down 5. Carry up 4. 9 times 4 equals 36 plus 4 equals 40. Bring down 0. Carry 4. 9 times 2 equals 18 plus 4 equals 22. So bring down 2. Carry up 2. 9 times 1 equals 9 plus 2 equals 11. Now, let us count the number of decimal places. Look at this. Our decimal points here. And the number at the right of the decimal points is only 1. That is 5. Here has no decimal places because this is 90. This is whole number. That is why we have only 1 decimal place. So, 1 decimal place lang po na natin ilalagay. So, that is why our answer is 11,205. So, pwede mo nang tanggalin ang 0 kasi wala na siyang value since 0.0 na lang ang nakalagay. Is that clear? Okay, very good. Now, it is your turn to answer your activity. Okay, so you're going to answer learning task 2. Find the product. Write your answers in your notebook. And this can be seen in page 17 of your math module. Again, sa page 17 ng inyong math module, learning task 2. Answer only, ilalagay sa notebook. At wag na nyo picture ng notebook at isi-send sa akin kasi you're going to check that kasi may answer dyan sa likod. So, i-check nyo na kaagad. Okay, let's go now to our lesson number 2, estimating the product with reasonable answer. Okay, let's have this an example problem. During a sale at iMart department store, a t-shirt cost 89 pesos and 50 centavos. About how much will 42 t-shirt cost? Look at the question, about. When we say about, you are going to estimate. Pag may nakita kayo sa problem na word na about, ibig sabihin nun, estimation. So, you are going to estimate. Now, how do we estimate the product of a certain number? Okay, so this is now our given. So we have 89 pesos and 50 centavos times 42. Now, we are going to estimate. So in estimating the product of a certain decimal number, we are going to round off the number to the nearest whole number. Again, we are going to round off to the nearest whole number. So our whole number here is 89. So 8, then 9. So yung nasa right ni 8 is 9. That is why magiging 90 si 89. So instead of 89 pesos and 50 centavos, we make it 90. Kasi, di ba pag nag-round off tayo, kung ano yung nasa right, kung ang nasa right ay 5 pataas, plus 1 sa i-round off. Pero kung ang nasa right ay 4 pababa, retain the number. Okay, just like 42. So si 42, 4, then 0, 2. So 4 pa din siya. That is why si 42 becomes 40. So that is how to estimate. Then proceed to multiplication. So bring down 2 zeros. Then 4 times 9 equals 36. So that is why the estimated product is 3,600. That is how to estimate the product of a certain number or a certain decimal number. Let's have another example. So we have 40 and 75 hundredths times 17. Again, we are going to round off to the nearest whole number. Di po ba 40? So 40 pa rin siya. Yan. How about si 17? 1, then ang nasa right niya is 7, so kaya magiging 20. Can you follow? That is how to round off. Then multiply. Bring down to 0. Then 2 times 4 equals 8. So the answer is 800. So huwag na kayo 0 times 0 equals 0, 0 times 4 equals 0. I-bring down na lang kung ilan ang 0 na nasa taas. Is that clear? Okay, very good. So that is how to multiply quickly so that you can get the answer right away. Okay, let's have another one. Let's have this. Okay, look at this. This is 71 hundredths. Hindi siya whole number. Then multiply by 43 times 43. So, si 71 hundredths, 0, magiging 7 na nasa right, kaya magiging 1 na lang siya. Then, 43, 4, then 3, magiging 40. Tama? So, that is why 1 times 40 equals 40. So, this is now the estimated product. Madali na mag-estimate. Basta marunong mag-round off. Okay, let's have another one. We have, so erase ko muna to. Basta i-round off natin to the nearest whole number. So, let's have this 675 and 35 hundredths times 8 and 2 tenths. So, ayan. So, our whole number is 6. Ang nasa right niya is 7. So, plus 1 tayo kay 6 magiging 7. So, tatlo lang yun, no? So, magiging 700. Tama ba? Ulit. Diba 6 siya? Ang nasa right niya is 7. So, plus 1 kay 6 magiging 7. So, since ito yung decimal points natin, tatlo lang dapat ang lalabas. Kaya, 700. Then, si 8, 2 ang nasa right, 8 pa din. Nagets? Then, saka ka mag-multiply. So, ibaba ang dalawang 0. Yan. Yan mabilis na mag-multiply. Then, 7 times 8 equals 56. So, your answer now is 5,600. So, ganun lang kabilis o ganun lang kadaling mag-estimate ng product of a decimal number. Any question? If there is none, it is now your turn to answer the learning task. Okay, learning task 1, estimate the peso equivalent of the following items. Write your answers in your notebook on page 18 of your math module. So makikita ito sa page 18 ng inyong math module. Another one, learning task 2, estimate the product. Write your answers in your notebooks. Makikita naman ito sa page 19 ng inyong module. Okay? So if you are done, how do we multiply decimal numbers? Paano daw tayo mag-multiply ng decimal numbers? Okay, to multiply decimal numbers, first, multiply like a whole number. Tandaan natin, i-multiply lang natin siya parang whole number. Then, after we multiply, count the number of decimal places in the factors. Bilangin lang natin ang number of decimal places. The number of decimal places in the factors is the same also in each product. So, kung 5 ang nasa factors, 5 din ang dapat ang decimal places na nasa product. Ganun lang kasimple mag-multiply ng decimal numbers. Now, how do we estimate the product of decimal numbers? Paano naman tayo mag-estimate? Okay, to estimate the product of decimal numbers, first, you're going to round off the decimal numbers into a whole number. Gawin natin siyang whole number. Then, after we round to the whole number, i-multiply na natin siya like a whole number. So, that is how to estimate and how to multiply decimal numbers. I hope that you have learned today about multiplying of decimal numbers and estimating the product with a reasonable result. Okay, another one. You are going to answer the learning task 3. Solve the given problems. Write your answers in your notebook. It can be found on page 17 of your math module. Then, learning task 4. Read the problem, then answer the questions that follow. Write your estimation by showing your solutions and answers in your notebook. Page 19 of your math module. Now, this time we have a quiz again. Answer the following. Write your answers in a piece of pad paper. Take note baka may magtatanong na naman. Isulat sa whole pad paper ang sagot na lamang. Dahil isi-check na natin sa Friday. Is that clear? Okay, so let's have this number 1. Find the product. So 1 to 5. Find the product lang. So you have to multiply number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, and number 5. Then, for number 6 to 10, use estimation to help you choose the correct answer in each of the following. Write letters only. So, ang isasagot nyo na lang dyan sa 6 to 10, letters na lang. So, yun ang pagpipilian nyo, A to B or C lang. So, number 6, 27 and 336,000 times 3 and 4 tenths. Then number 7, 8 and 4200 times 6 tenths. Number 8, 44 and 5 tenths times 7 and 13 hundredths. Number 9, 92 and 5 tenths times 8 and 38 hundredths. And for the number 10, 205 and 7 tenths times 24 and 5 tenths. So, madali lang makakuha ng answer kasi mayroon na kayong hint kung ano ba ang tamang sagot. Again, in estimation, you're going to round off first the number into the nearest whole number. Okay? If you are done, you are also write your assignment about the reflection regarding to our lesson this morning. I understand that and I learned that. So you are going to write that below of your one whole pad paper, yung sinagutan nyo kanina. So thank you very much. Enjoy doing your activities in your math module. Good luck and see you on Friday.